Welcome to our Green Acres. Today's video is going to be a compilation of some of my best decorating ideas for the upcoming fall season. I'm going to show you how we can add some fun fall touches to our bedroom and also to our kitchen. I'm going to decorate 2 trees in true fall fashion, and we will DIY some fun decor items. September is just around the corner, so now is the time for us to get some inspiration and ideas so we will have our homes cozy for the cooler fall months. So let's get started. The first area that I'm going to start with is going to be my bedroom, and I'm going to show you how you can add some cozy layers of bedding to your bedroom for the fall season. Not only will it look pretty, but it will sleep good too. I'm going to show you several bedding options that I looked at. That was my inspiration. I love neutral colors, but you can always do whatever color fits the style of your home. Now that I got the inspiration for the bedding that I would like, I'm going to go out now and try to find some budget-friendly options. Those sheets that were on that bed were $200. I'm going to go with these Laura Ashley 100% cotton pre-cal sheets. I love these sheets. These are very crisp and fresh feeling sheets, but you could also do, a flannel sheet if you prefer that. The first thing I want to do before I put my new sheets on the bed is I'm going to add something to the headboard. Now, if you don't have a window behind your bed like we do, if you've got a wall, you could also add a beautiful piece of fall wall decor. But I'm going to add this beautiful leaf garland that I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put some bows on the ends of it, just attach it to our headboard, and I will also add some beautiful lights to add some ambiance for the cool and the cozy fall nights. Now I'm going to put my new sheets on. I put them through the washer, washed them really well, and now I'm just going to add them to the bed. These sheets right here run about $50, but these are some of my favorite sheets. In today's video, I'm showing you 6 essential bedding layers that will make a great fall bed. But first, we want to start out, like I told y'all, with some really good sheets. Now we want to go in and we want to layer, and I love dust ruffles. So this one right here was $350. So I shopped Amazon, and I'm going to have links for all of the bedding and all the items that I use in today's video. I'll provide links for y'all. So I ordered this one on Amazon. It was, in about the $57 range. You also get 2 king size shams. So this is a 3-piece set. This makes a beautiful dust ruffle. You layer it over your bed, and also it will just flow down the sides of your bed. So I love that layering effect that it gives. Now that we've got our sheets on and our dust ruffle, now let's go with some pillows. Now you want pillows, of course, for functionality to sleep on, but also for decorative use also. I love Euro shams to go along with the other rectangle shaped shams that I'll put on the bed. I love the shape and the texture of both. I found these on Amazon. You get a set of these for around $40. You will need the inserts. But just layer these on your bed, and like I say, pillows, different textures and different shapes just really will take your bed to the next level. Now I like to add an extra blanket up under our comforter, and that was an inexpensive one. I got at Aldi. I think that was around the $15 range. Now let's add our comforter. Now you can go with a duvet, a quilt, a comforter, bedspread, whatever you desire. I found this one very affordable on Amazon, and it's got a really pretty double ruffle on it, and I love the color of this. And all of this bedding comes in different colors if you desire a different theme. This comforter set right here was also a 3-piece set, so I got 2 shams to go along with the comforter, so that was a great deal. Now let's add some fall touches. These pumpkin pillows are some of my favorites. You can get these now a lot of places. I'm going to have a couple of options in my Amazon store, but I'm just going to layer a couple of these pumpkin pillows on the bed just to add some extra fall cozy touch. Now I'm going to add some pretty tied bows on the ends of my garland, and like I say, I added a 100 string light set to this, and I love the glow that this gives off in our bedroom, and especially at night, and especially when the days start to get shorter and we have more darkness. Now to finish off our bedding, I needed a throw. I shopped around to try to find the best deal in the one that I liked and I felt like, would fit the style of my bedding that I have going on so far. I really wanted to stay in the neutral theme. And Target to me always has the best selections of throws, and they did not disappoint on this day. I found this one, it's a chunky knit with the fringe, and I thought it fit great at the foot of our bed. Now let's add some special touches over to another space in our bedroom. I just filled a white pitcher with some wheat stems, and I'm going to add a couple of these little heart-shaped dough bowls. I'll have these linked to my Amazon store, and I'm just going to take a few little pumpkins and put some little pumpkin filler in my dough bowls. Now let's decorate this little accent chair and just give it a little bit of a cozy feel. I love fur rugs, and I'm going to have several options of these linked to my Amazon store. These are absolutely beautiful. They're very affordable. Just drape those along with a throw on your chair and add some more of those pumpkin pillows. Now let's sit back and enjoy our cozy fall bedroom. While I was creating my bedroom for the fall, I run across a few extra touches to add in. So some of these spaces you're going to see styled without these touches, but stay tuned because later on in the video I'm going to show y'all a few other things I come across and I added to my space. Now, let's add some more special touches to my bedroom. I went to Target. They always have a great wreath selection. I absolutely love this pampas grass one, but look at the shedding. I don't think I could deal with this. It's absolutely beautiful, but I just don't think it's going to be practical. But I did find this one up above it, and this one looks more like what we can use to put around our lamps on our nightstands. I want to add just a little special touch to my lamps and my nightstands and just add a little bit more texture and coziness. This one right here I think will be perfect. Look at the wheat stalks in it. Look at the faux pampas grass. This one doesn't shed. That is always my true test of a wreath in the store or any kind of florals or greenery that I select is, do they shed? But look how beautiful it is, and it's a really good size. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to show you how you can just take something so simple but make your area so beautiful and elegant. But it adds just another lazy layer of coziness to your area. So I'm going to put this on my nightstand around my lamp, and I'm going to add this beautiful textured pumpkin. I'm going to add that on a little stack of books that I have, and now the nightstand is complete. Just another idea of things that you can add to your bedroom to add that cozy fall feel. over here on my dresser, I got this beautiful cow print at Bell's, and I put it over here just to add a little bit of background to this dresser that we have. We removed the mirror on it years ago, but we used to have a TV in our bedroom, but we do not watch TV at night. We go to bed and go to sleep. So I'm just adding a couple of pampas trees that I got at Walmart. These were out during the Christmas time a couple years ago, and I added a beautiful flocked pumpkin. Now this base is done. I got some thrifted candlestick holders that I have over here, and I just filled another dough bowl full of, pumpkins, and that's all there is to it. Now we've got special touches over here in this area, and now it is ready for the fall season. Get your Christmas tree out, whatever kind of tree you have, and I have decorated, like I showed y'all, a flock tree as well. So any tree that you love will work. But these are the white ones, and I will try to link these down below if you love this type of a tree. It's very easy to assemble. It's pre-lit, and it comes in 3 sections. And of course, with any kind of Christmas tree, once it's been in the box and it's been stored away for months, you just want to get it out and put it up in sections and fluff each section as you go, and it doesn't take very long at all. Now we've got a beautiful blank canvas that we can add some beautiful fall decor to. I'm taking some cute little Sherpa pumpkin picks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and all of this decor was 40% off the day I went. I just twisted the stems together, and I'm just going to go in and start decorating and arranging things in places that I feel like the tree needs some decoration. These I picked up at Walmart. These were 97 cents. And I'm going to show y'all a few that I got at Walmart, and they were 97 cents. So that is a great deal. This right here has some like lamb's ear leaves on it with the little white pumpkins and a little bit of a boho type feather. Absolutely love these. So I just go in. I'm just going to stick these in the stems. And like I say, depending on what kind of tree you have, somewhere where you may have a hole or you just want to cover up a wire or something, that may be where you want to place, your decor. This one right here is absolutely beautiful. So to add some color to the tree, I picked up some of these, and I'm going to start adding these in throughout the tree. And another great thing about going ahead and putting your Christmas tree up and using it for fall decoration is when Christmas time rolls around, we've already got our tree up. You can also leave this beautiful decorated tree up through Thanksgiving. Here's some more decorative things that I found. These come from Dollar General, only $1. So I picked up a few of these little pumpkins. These suede baubles right here, I got these at Hobby Lobby, and I got a pack of 6. I picked up several packages of these. They were very inexpensive. And then I just took some pipe cleaners and I just connected 2 of them together and stuck them inside the tree. Now I'm just adding different colors to my tree, but you can always add whatever colors and whatever decorations you may have on hand. This was an inexpensive garland I picked up at Walmart. It was less than $6. I grabbed a couple of these. I thought I could cut this up, and where I have holes in the tree or somewhere where I may need some more color or some texture, I can just go in and add sprigs of this. And that's what I'm going to do. Just cut it up and just, make your own pieces, and you get a lot of pieces of this out of 2 sections of garland. So I'm just going to go in very budget friendly way to instead of buying individual stems, just find some inexpensive garland and cut it up, and it'll make great filler pieces for your tree. So I hope this will inspire you to go and get one of your Christmas trees out and decorate it for the fall and the Thanksgiving season. I had so much fun decorating this one, and I can't wait to show y'all the next one that I decorate. And I'm going to put some DIY projects on it. So stay tuned, stay on the video, because I'm going to show you how, if you don't want to go out and buy decor, extra decor, I'm going to show you how we can make some, ourselves at home and get creative and have fun with it. So I just go in with some more of those little Dollar General pumpkins. And like I say, I just picked up inexpensive decor, just places where I found it at good deals. I love this little acorn stem. That was also a Walmart find, and they were 97 cents. So make sure to check your Dollar Generals, your Dollar Tree, your dollar Walmart, and just pick up things that are budget friendly. I just put a drop cloth skirt around mine. I had a piece of drop cloth and I just draped it around the bottom, and I added some pumpkins for decor. Now I'm going to sit back and let y'all enjoy the beautiful tree that I created, and this didn't take me very long to do at all, and I had so much fun decorating it. And look at the lights. And I know, like I say, when the days get shorter and it gets darker earlier, we can turn on these lights on this tree and it's going to be absolutely beautiful, and I know I'm going to enjoy looking at it. Now let's decorate the tree at our main house. Now this tree always goes over in the corner of our family room, so I've got it set up, and I wanted to get started by, I've got some velvet ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and I thought I would tie some of this on these ornaments, tie the ornaments onto the tree, maybe tie them in a bow, just to add a little bit of texture and color. So I was going to coordinate my colors. I took this beautiful burnt orange suede bauble that I put on the other tree. I'm going to put some on this tree as well. So I started out with a different plan, and then I had to sleep on it overnight because I didn't know if this tree was going to get decorated or not. The vision just would not. I just couldn't get it going like I wanted it to. So sometimes when you can't get a project going, just kind of step away from it, sleep on it, and I guarantee the next day you'll have a whole new perspective and it will all come together. And the next morning I went back at it. I took everything off the tree, I made it blank again, and I started over. I took this pallet wood frame that I got at a thrift store, and it had a wire hanger. I took the wire hanger off and I just put a piece of velvet ribbon in for the hanger. Then I got a beautiful graphic off of Etsy and just downloaded it. I cut it down to size and I put it on this little piece of pallet wood. Now this right here was the focal point for the whole tree. I really worked off the colors that was in this graphic. Once I got this, nestled into the branches, I just got a strong branch and just kind of nestled it in. Then I just went from there, adding and pulling out those beautiful colors. So once I got the theme for the tree and I got unstuck and got creative, now I want to show you how we can make some DIY ornaments. Just take some, I've got some pumpkin molds, and I'm going to link these down below where you can get these. But I'm going to take some casting resin. Casting resin is absolutely awesome. It's actually better to me than air dry clay because it doesn't crack. You get a really good casting each time, but it's just equal parts of each bottle. You pour it into a little bowl and you stir it for a couple of minutes. You get it dissolved really well, and then you want to pour it. Now this will start to set up really quick, so make sure if you have some extra, you can pour it. You have some extra molds on hand, and just keep pouring it and make up some for future projects. But I wanted to capture this beautiful pumpkin, and I'm going to make a couple of these. This pumpkin mold right here has 2 sizes of pumpkins, and it also has some beautiful fall leaves. Another reason I like this casting resin is you can tell when it dries, because when it is completely dry, it turns solid white. At that point, you can pull it out and then you can remove any excess that maybe have run over the edges and just trim it up really good. Most of the time, you can just pull this off with your fingers. But now I've got some beautiful leaves that I can use on something else, and I've got some beautiful pumpkins. Now, these pumpkin molds right here have some absolutely beautiful detail on them, so you could definitely get creative with them. And these are good projects if you've got wax, because these little details will really pick up the wax and show up really well. So I'm not going to use the leaves, but I am going to show you how we can make some really pretty pumpkin ornaments for our tree. Now you can start to paint your pumpkins, and you can paint them whatever color you want. These make great ornaments, so if you need to pull out the colors that you have on your tree and just add to them, that's what I did. I went with a lot of neutrals on my tree, so I went with some neutral pumpkins. But this one I painted with is called Faded Burlap, and this is by DIY Paint. And then once it dried, I gave it a couple layers, and once it dried, I went over it with a sponge with some white wax. Now you could also use dark wax if you wanted to. You could use glaze. You could also go in and paint your leaves if you wanted to do that. You could paint the stem. You could get some rub and buff if you like the gold and put some gold texture to it. You could also do that. So many different options for these little pumpkin ornaments. Now for my next one, I'm going to mix some really inexpensive Walmart craft paints that I have. I'm trying to get a color of some of the ribbon that I have on my fall tree. And I'm just taking some paints that I have. These are probably like little 50-cent craft paints from Walmart. And I just keep mixing some colors just to try to get that color that was on that ribbon. I got close, but I just mixed it until I felt like I got something, that would fit well on my tree. And then I'm just going to go over again, give it a couple of layers. Now I mixed up too much paint, so just don't waste it. If you mix up extra paint, get a little jar and with an airtight lid, and just store your paint you mixed up. Now look at this beautiful color. And like I say, this is just something that I made up and I mixed up on my own. And again, you could go with dark wax here, but I'm going to stick with my white wax. Wipe it away, and then like I say, if you need to apply more white wax, just go in and apply more. Just keep working it until you get it the way you want it. Now I'm going to show you how to take some little blanks that I got at Dollar General, and they were $1. So I'm going to take these blanks and I'm going to remove the paper. The paper worked off really well. I just dampened it. Some of it I removed with my fingers, and then some of it I removed with my razor blade. Now I just kept working with the paper, and in some sections you could just rub it off with your fingers and just pull it off. And in other places, just keep dampening it with your cloth, and the more you loosen it with that water and it gets moist, that glue will loosen up and the paper will come off. So once I got most of the paper off, I just went around it and cleaned it off really good and got all that excess paper off. And then I got a dry rag. I went around and I just dried it off really well. Now I bought 2 of these little blanks. So I'm going to show you 2 ornaments that I'm going to make and how easy they are. Look what pretty blanks they are. Now, see, we've got just a fresh canvas that we can add whatever you have on hand to. You could put stamps on this, molds, transfers. I had these transfers left over from the IOD fall release from last year, these little fairies. So I'm just using some things that I already have on hand. But like I say, you could add just about anything that you may have in your supplies. So I'm going to apply this little beautiful fairy to this one, and it did work off on the sides, the excess transfer paper, and I'm going to show you how I removed it. I just took the backing sheet, I put it up behind that transfer because that transfer is sticky on the back, and anything it sticks to, it's going to adhere to. So a lot of times you really don't even want to get this on your fingers, but I just took that little white backing sheet, and that worked it off the easiest for me. Now, once I got that worked off, then I'll go around with my little finger sander and I'll go around the edges of the circle and just smooth down that transfer really well. And you can also go around the transfer and you can also give it a rustic look. You can kind of sand it down and give it some distressing. I did the same process to the second one because I had several of these transfers left over. I think these fit beautifully in these circles on these little Dollar General blanks. So sometimes when you see things out at the dollar store and they're only $1, they make great project pieces. Now I'm going to show y'all how we can make our own pumpkins. This right here was just a legging type sock, and I'm showing you how easy it is that you can just recover your pumpkins each year. And they usually have those little weights. You saw that little cement round that was in the bottom. You can easily remove that and insert it and put it back. And that way that will give your pumpkin some weight on the bottom. But I just went around and you just, just tuck it down into that hole in the top of your pumpkin and work your fabric down in there as tight as you want to. And then I'll show you some options for some stems in just a minute. Now this is some thrifted pants that I got, and it's some beautiful velvet. So I'm just going to take this piece of velvet and I'm going to cut it into a circle the best I can. Because when you're working with a pumpkin, a lot of times I feel like if you do a circle pattern of fabric, that fits better to work around your pumpkin. And you can see how I'm going around and rotating the pumpkin each time, just tucking that fabric into that hole in the top of the pumpkin. And once you get it tucked around into the pumpkin, you go all the way around, you can always go back and kind of pull it tighter in certain areas and kind of work your gathers to where your fabric is evenly dispersed around the whole pumpkin. Now this right here turned out really pretty, and I know velvet pumpkins this year are so popular. But they are so easy to make them at home. So make sure to look while you're still going to yard sales and at the thrift store and try to find some pretty velvet fabric. You could also pick some up probably at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. Now this was a little kid's Sherpa jacket. I just cut the sleeve off of it. I thought it was a beautiful fall color. So again, I'm just using a little kid's jacket that I got very inexpensive at a yard sale. This is just the sleeve of it. I'm just working it into the top and the bottom of the pumpkin. You pull it tight, and this will make a beautiful pumpkin too. There's that little weight round. I'll just put it back into the bottom so my pumpkin will stand up and it'll have some weight to support itself. Now here's a pumpkin that may not have a hole in the bottom. It's got one in the top, but it's so easy to make one in the bottom too. So I'm just taking a screwdriver and you just work around and make the hole as large as you need to. Now some of this stuff can get kind of staticky and kind of messy. So you may want to put something down on your work area to catch some of that stuff that's in the pumpkin. But I'm just taking a sleeve off of a thrifted sweater. This is more like a popcorn style texture, and I thought it would make a pretty material for a pumpkin. So sleeves off of clothes work great. So I'm just going to work it around my pumpkin, and I'm going to tuck it in the top, and then you'll also see me tuck it in the bottom. And like I say, you just want to work your way around the pumpkin. These are so easy to make and go so fast. Cut off any excess fabric that you have and then just tuck it into the hole. And like I say, if you need to get a screwdriver and try to work that down in there, that's what I use. And you can just make these up, and then once you get them all made up, I made different sizes in different shapes. These are so much fun to make. And you can also make some leaves. You can cut out some leaves, the shape of leaves, out of the same fabric, or when you see it styled, I actually put use some lace. So I made some leaves out of some lace, and just make your leaf shape and put it, form it around the top, and just embellish your pumpkins any way you want to. You could add twine or raffia, pretty much the sky's the limit on this. Now for my pumpkin stems, I've told y'all, you can use dried okra stems. You can save the pumpkin stems from the previous year. Let them dry, put them in a bag, and save them. And that's what I did. I took my pumpkins that I had last year, and once I was finished using my real pumpkins, I saved the stems. Now look what beautiful stems these make for these little DIY pumpkins that we made. This beautiful little velvet one, I had the perfect pumpkin stem for it. And like I say, this come off of a real pumpkin from last year. So this year, make sure to save your pumpkin stems and let them dry and save them till next year. And you're going to have some beautiful embellishments for your DIY pumpkins for next year. Now I'm going to show you a thrifted piece. This I found at Goodwill, and this was some kind of like a wine wood crate. It was only $6.99, and it's very large in size, but I thought this would make a great vessel for my pumpkins, and I can style this up under my fall tree. I'm going to take some golden oak stain, and I'm going to stain it. You could also paint it if you wanted to, but I thought I really wanted to enrich that wood color. It was a light color to begin with, but I thought it just needs a little bit of some beautiful stain on it. So I just took a rag, I went around all the sides and the front and the back, and I went around and stained it really well. And I also did the inside of the crate as well. I really love the color of this stain, and I think my box turned out beautiful. Now, once I brought it in, I decided I wanted to add some feet to it. And I'm going to go with the same color as the crate. I took these little finial feet. I get these at Lowe's, and you get 2 of these to a pack. I took 4 of them, and I stained them the same color as I did the crate. Now I'm just taking some hot glue, but you could also use some wood glue. I did remove the screws because there really wasn't anything to screw to in this wood crate since it was hollowed out. I just added some grocery bags just to give it some lift, and then I'm going to add just a piece of burlap sack. And a lot of times if you wash burlap, it'll give it a really pretty rustic look. It'll really make it flow really good. And I just laid it in there, and then I put all my beautiful pumpkins that I just made in it. So just another budget-friendly way to add another great detail to your fall tree. Another idea for a tree skirt is I just took some coffee bean bags. Now, I washed these also, and I just made a beautiful tree skirt out of these. You could also get a beautiful wicker type tree collar. I think that would be beautiful for fall also. So just giving you more ideas of how you can style the bottom of your tree. Since it's a little bit too early for the fur tree skirt like I have that I'll put out for winter, I thought the burlap was perfect for fall. I'm going to give y'all some budget-friendly ways of how I gave my kitchen a fall refresh. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to replace a lot of the spring and the summer graphics in my frames with some fall downloads. Now these I got on Etsy, and I will link these down below. Etsy downloads are very budget friendly. A lot of times you can get them for just a few dollars, and you can print them out for any size frame that you have. I just put some tape on the back just to secure it in the frame. Don't put the glass on it. I usually go with my frames with no glass, but that is totally optional and you do them the way you like them. This is another little rustic frame that I have, and I'm going to show you how I style these frames on my open shelving in my kitchen toward the end of the video. This is another beautiful download that I got on Etsy, and I love the white pumpkins. I just cut it down to size for my little rustic frame, and that's what you want to do. Is just change out your spring and summer graphics out of your frames, or go out and shop the thrift stores. And if you're still having yard sales in your area, that's also another great place to find some really budget friendly frames. I'm just going to tape this one around the glass, just insert it back in the frame. Now I've got some beautiful graphics that I didn't spend a lot of money on, but these will be beautiful displayed for fall decor on my open shelving in my kitchen. Another very inexpensive decorating tip is take your spring and your summer florals out of, your vessels that you have and put in some little pumpkin filler. I leave my bunnies out all year long and I just fill them up with seasonal decor. Now, another thing you're going to see styled in my open shelving and throughout my home is going to be pictures. I a lot of times pick up inexpensive pictures at the thrift stores, no matter what color they are or what graphic they may have on them. You can get them very inexpensive. You can always spray paint them or paint them, whatever color that is in your home and whatever your style is. I like a lot of neutrals, so most of the time I just spray the pictures, I just spray them white. But like I say, you can spray them whatever color matches your decor. Now, with just a few special touches and just a refresh and changing out a few things that I already had, here is what my open shelving previously looked like for spring and summer. I took all the decor down. I went through and I washed all my dishes. I wiped down my shelves really well and gave everything a good clean before I put up the fall decor. Now here is the fall decor that I worked with and I incorporated on my open shelving. I'll show you the other side in tomorrow's video, but I just put some dried hydrangeas in my white pictures. I kind of sprinkled those throughout. I took about 3 neutral colors. You can see that really pretty sage blue pumpkin, and I took a neutral white, and also I love the caramel color of the pumpkins. So I went with those 3 colors and kind of played off those. I just kind of arranged everything on my open shelving until I got the desired look that I like. On the bottom shelf, I have a garland spread across it, and I just sprinkled in a dough bowl with my white dishes and those beautiful pictures. I have a window pane that sits up there all throughout the year, and I just change out the seasonal decor that's in a frame in front of it. Now I'm going to show you how I added some special touches of fall to some more open shelving over in my kitchen. This is another beautiful print that I got off Etsy, and these you can resize to whatever size frame that you have. I took some dried hydrangeas that I got from my yard, and I just hung these up, let these dry. Now you can see the beautiful pictures that I painted, and I just blended these in on my open shelving. Along with the white, I did want to add in some wood elements and also some woven texture. So I just put a basket up here with some beautiful leaf foliage and then just decorated a lot with just natural elements and just to bring in that cozy fall vibe. Here's another area in our kitchen when you come in our back door, but it also has open shelving. I love the open shelving, and we did this as a DIY project when we remodeled our kitchen. This is what the area looks like when I decorated it for spring and summer. I cleared all the spring and summer decor off, and again, I went through, I washed all my dishes, and I wiped down all the shelving. Now this is what it looks like. I flipped the dough bowl over, use it as a platform. Added in some pumpkin dishes that I have and also some copper elements. Down below, I hung up this beautiful sign. I bought this last year, and I just added some pumpkins to a wicker tray. I added some greenery in and just went in with some fall touches. Now this space is ready for fall and autumn. Now, just to give this little area right here a little bit more fall detail, just add in some of your cute little pumpkins, and that's what I did on each side of my greenery. Decorating for fall is so much fun because you can just pick those beautiful, rich, golden colors. And here is another option for the woven tray that's down on the bottom. I found this beautiful cloth fabric pumpkin at Bell's, and I had to pick it up. But look at the beautiful texture in this, and I love the gold tone material. Another fall addition that I added to my home was this beautiful pumpkin print from Paper House Print Shop. This comes in several sizes, so you can get it to whatever size frame that you have. I got, I think, the 16 by 20, but look at the beautiful colors they have in this print. I found this frame that I had in my storage unit, and like I told y'all, I always have a huge supply of frames on hand. But I took it, I like the color of it. I did take a piece of plexiglass. This is not glass, it's more plastic. And this will be my background that I will apply that beautiful print to. I'm just going to work outside because I'm going to put some spray adhesive on this. So to get my starter strip going and get it stuck down so I can spray it and then align it onto this plexiglass, I just use a good quality glue stick and just got a good strip. and then applied the paper down on it. Now I'm just going to lift it up, and up underneath I'm just going to liberally spray this spray adhesive. I think this is the Elmer spray. I get this at Walmart on the craft aisle. I'm just going to spray the plexiglass really well, and then I'm even going to put some on the paper. You just want to spread it out really well, and I'm just using a rolling pin I had on hand, but you can also use a brayer. Just go over, roll it over really well just to make sure it's adhered really good, and then just put it back in your frame. This print right here is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to leave a link to where I got mine down below. I can't wait to order one of these for Christmas too. They have a huge selection, but these have all the beautiful autumn and fall colors that I love and that I'm decorating for in my home. Okay, y'all, that's the end of the video, but I hope y'all got some ideas of how to decorate your home for the fall season. Remember, don't rule out those really pretty rich colors and go with that throughout the theme of your home. Make sure, just simple little touches throughout your home that is budget friendly. Repaint some old pictures you may have. Refresh them with just a coat of paint. Get those vessels out that you've had out all year long and just change out your seasonal decor. It's that easy and that budget friendly. I hope y'all enjoyed the video today, and make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know what your favorite colors are for the fall season. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I've got a lot of content coming your way. As always, I love y'all, appreciate y'all, and I'll plan to see y'all here again next week for my next video. Bye, y'all.